I'm going to cover several things here. First, I'm going to start with Laura Nigella for me. She was, this is her youngest son's 35th birthday. She was relating the story of, when she gave birth to him, how that, the nurse came in there and said, "Let me check you. Let me just see how you're doing." And then the nurse goes, "Oh my God." Grab your baby, and then I'm gonna go get a doctor. Now she was ready to bleed out, or she was in the process of bleeding out. They gave her some drugs so that she forgot. Well, the doctor had to stick his hand in her womb and massage it so it would shrink back down. Now that's not a procedure I'd ever heard of, but I guess it's fairly common with women have had multiple. That's what Laura was saying. And my daughter knew a lady that had died right after childbirth. So I'm wondering if she might have bled out. I don't know, or maybe other complications. I mean, some people, like for tubal pregnancy, some people will bleed out from a tubal pregnancy. Because it's a little bit harder to detect. Let's see. Next thing I want to cover, glasses for Bunny. Bunny Beyond Van Life. You get yourself a cool pair of wireless. These are mine. And my grandson did the same thing. Get some wireframe. Now I save mine just to drive or to watch TV. I don't wear them most of the time. Like I said, just driving and watching TV. Now, buddy, get yourself some cool wireframe glasses. You look a lot cooler in them. Let's see. Let's see. Mr. Ballin. One story. I don't know. I don't usually watch his in sequence. I just watch one as I find interesting. Now, one video he's telling a ghost story. It's a movie theater somewhere up in Salt Lake City. Now, the two policemen, security guards that had to go around and patrol the place. Now, they had this poltergeist-like activity where the ghost would, knock stuff around, turn lights on and off, flash the toilet, stuff like that. Now, these officers actually quit over this because they just didn't want to. They just didn't care to deal with the ghost. Now, for me, I would love to do that. I would try to interact with the ghost. I'd be asking the ghost questions. I'd take a laptop, run an audio program that it run for a couple hours with a special mic plugged in there. Let the ghost know that, ask, say, hey, tell me your name. Tell me something a little bit about your life. How'd you die? Why have you chose to stay earthbound? I'd be asking ghosts like that. Now I find, ghosts don't scare me. If I saw one, I think I'd probably be shocked initially, but I don't. It wouldn't scare me long term. I'd get over that real quick. Now, I find the thought of us just being meat puppets, not having a soul, not living on. Just once we're dead, that's it. I find that upsetting. I find that knowing that there's a life after this one. Now, I find that much more comforting, much more interesting. Like I said, I would try to interact with that ghost, try to find some information. I'd tell the ghost a couple of things. I said, look, I'm not quite sure why you're staying earthbound, but you are dead. It's time to move on. Meet up with passed on loved ones at the Astral Garden. And the last thing I say, hell is just a myth, because I think a lot of ghosts, are of the belief that they got to, after they leave this earth plane, they're going to go straight to hell, that they're going to burn hell in hell forever and ever. Now, hell is just a myth. Now, I believe there is an actual hell, but I believe it's not created by a loving God. Now, I do believe in God, but I don't believe God created this hell. I believe it's a level of the astral plane created by people that know that they belong there, and they stand themselves there. It's they created their own hell. That's my belief. Let's see. The last thing is for Glorious Life on Wheels. Now, I have watched a video or two that she made on this executive order. She seemed to be concerned about this executive order. Now, I would. It's easier for me to comment here, and then someone can, show this video to Glorious Life on Wheels. Now, the part of the executive order that concerned me was, losing your civil rights. Now, I don't believe any cop is going to take. I don't think a cop actually has that power. I'm not sure if a judge could do that. A judge would have to have a much more serious crime than someone just being homeless, someone just living in their car, to actually remove their civil rights. So I'm not sure if that's even within the power of a judge. And I don't think a mental health institution, if you're taught in a mental health institution, I don't think they can remove your civil rights. Now, one thing, one of my girlfriends many years ago, now she would go and have herself committed to, she'd feel suicidal. She'd have herself committed to the mental health institution. Then a few days later, she'd get bored. And now there's the form you can fill out. It's called Against a Medical Advice. Now, unless you're a threat to yourself or a threat to someone else, they have to honor that. Now, what that form does, that relieves the doctors of any responsibility. Something you might do to yourself or something you might do to somebody else. That's all that form does. It means that the doctors don't agree with your decision, but you're responsible enough for yourself to just check yourself out. I believe if YouTube RV wherever committed to a mental institution, they could probably fill out that form and say, "Look, you got to release me or charge me with a crime other than this executive order." I'm just saying, get this to Gloria, because she said she was a police officer. She had made her way had retired as a detective. So I'm sure she knows something about the law. Just ask her about this losing your civil rights for being homeless. Now, if you were doing other major crimes, yeah, I could see maybe losing your civil rights if you committed a major crime. Just my thoughts. I get this to Gloria Soft on Wheels. I'd be interested in her take on this. It's easier for me to verbalize my thoughts here on my YouTube channel. Love ya. Still love this crazy world. Bye-bye.